Right, enough of coffee, looking at coffee, walking around with coffee. Today, I'm going to be talking about my plans, October 2020, for my Amazon Arbitrage FBA business. And this is quite simply, what am I going to be doing in Q4, which is obviously the big time that everyone is thinking about. So let me just run through what I want to talk about, and then let's jump into it. Okay, so first things first, number one, I want to give you a bit of a recap of where I'm at right now and how the business is performing, really, because I'm on that goal to 1 million. I'll drop a link up there. And it's like, how are we getting? Like, what's been the barriers and what's been successful last month? Second is I want to talk about the one thing I'm doing with my purchasing manager, which has made a really big difference to how he's purchasing. And this is really useful if you've got VAs, especially a purchasing manager. And then number three, I'm going to go through what I'm going to be doing, just making sure that I'm on point for finding the best deals for Q4 and how I'm going to find them before they become available. And then finally, number four, actually, I should get that right. I think it's number four, cash flow. And in particular, I'm talking about getting cash, i.e. cash available, making cash available so that when I need to buy big, I can buy very big. So stay tuned. Let's go through that now. What's been working over the last month? Well, quite simply, is to say, if I give you an update, probably for about 3 months, we've been doing about 35K. Over the last 30 days run rate, we're now up to 45K. And what's been really good, and I'll kind of talk about how we've done it, is the last 2 weeks. You know, my purchasing manager has bought probably 12K's worth of stock every week. And that's something that we've never been before. Normally we probably go around about 6 to 7, maybe 8. But 12K, that is 12K a week. That is roughly, you know, you're kind of talking 50 grand a month in purchase. So if you sell that, that's 100 grand a month in sales, you know, 2-to-1 ratio. And then that's 1.2 million. So that's where we need to be. So I'm like excited because that has been working so well. Now, 2 months ago, my ROI was running at about 35%, which is really high. But interesting enough, we had to crash a lot of prices because the stock wasn't going to sell, too much competition, etc., etc. And last month we dropped down to about 20%. So very big difference. But 20% I'll take because the stock wasn't going to sell. When we did the analysis, it was just like, no, that's not going to sell. So let's just get out of there, clear our position out. Some of them we made losses. Like I make losses on some of my products that I just don't want to do. It's not worth my time. So I'll go buy something else which will make me some money. Hey, question for you. Do you ever take losses in your business? You know, willingly take losses, not like you have to take it, but you actually say, no, let's clear it out. Drop it down in the comments below. I'm interested to know. So, number one, that is a little bit of a recap of where we are at the moment. And also as well, if you want to know, I've got another VA. So I've now got 3 sourcing VAs and 1 admin assistant and 4 sourcing VAs. My God, I'm losing track. 4 sourcing VAs, 1 admin assistant and 1 purchasing manager. And you know, that's to try and get me up to 1 million. And I think we're going to be pretty happy there. So we've got a lot to do, but that team I'm not looking to expand. And we just said, look, let's make it happen now. You know, talk about go big or go home. And I did it in my plan of how I'm going to increase the sourcing VAs. And I was like, you know what? I want to do a lot of money this Christmas. I don't want to wait till next Christmas. Let's just hire new sourcing VAs now. So the second thing I want to talk about quite simply is my purchasing manager. Now, he has done a fantastic job. You know, 12K a week for the last 2 weeks. It's actually more like 13, 12.8, I think it was last week. And that's incredible. And if you want to know, estimated ROI on 13K last week is 28.9%. That's what the stats told me just in his report in the week. And that's an incredible thing. And the one thing which we kind of looked at was to say that 2 weeks ago, we were hitting 6, 7s and 8s. We weren't keep pushing up. We had the money, we had the team, but we weren't getting the deals. I'm not saying we weren't getting the deals, it wasn't going up. And interesting, what did I do? I started coaching him, quite simply. And by coaching him, what did I do? I quite simply just said, and if anyone is, you know, maybe like in your business, you're struggling, I'd really recommend doing this, is I do it myself. Basically kind of wake up every day or every Sunday or every Monday and just write down, what are my biggest problems right now that are stopping me getting to my goal? And for him, it was quite simply, he just didn't have enough time. Like, He's got all these team members throwing him deals. It was getting really, it's like, I don't have enough time. And interesting enough, I learned that he was working 11 hours a day, which is like insane. And we kind of went through what the problem was, why it was happening, and what we found out. And I was just asking the question like, hey, why don't you use your staff? There's a lot of stuff you're doing that they could do. And then it's kind of like, yeah, I am, but they're not really doing everything that I want. And we went through a whole kind of process of understanding why that wasn't happening. And eventually we found a really good solution, which was like, they do what he says, or he's not going to review their deals. And as a result, they're going to get really bad results. And then I'm going to come onto them and say, why are you not getting good deals? Or why are you not getting purchases? And they'll be like, oh, because my purchasing manager isn't buying them. Like, why are you not doing it? Because she's not doing what she's supposed to be doing. You'd be like, okay. So interesting point there is to say that my purchasing manager has learned a lot about managing, which is really important. So not just about saying, hey guys, can I have deals, but actually about how to manage the team. And what we see now is that he's given so much more of his work to the team, which has freed him up to buy. And quite simply, he can do better deal analysis now. He can spend more time purchasing. And what do we see? We see a 50% increase, at least 50%, by the way. £6,000, £8,000 a week we were before. Now we're doing 12, 13,000 a week for the last 2 weeks, which is incredible. That is going to be pushing 100,000 a month revenue. Like 6 figures in a month. That's next level. That's 3xing where I am right now. And that's pretty hard to do. So I'm really interested to see those figures. So that's worked really well. So if I come back, the concept is, and I do it with myself, every week, write down what is not working in your business. What's the biggest problems you're having to get, stopping you getting where you want to be. For example, for me, I want to get to 1 million. To get to 1 million, I need to do 100,000 a month roughly. To do 100,000 a month, I need to do 50,000 in purchases a month. And to do that, I need to do about £12,500 a week in purchases. But we were doing 6 to 7, maybe 8. And I was like, that isn't working. And it was just really clearly defining what the problem was. And then for the whole of that week, focusing on that problem, overcoming each problem as it happens. And that's going to really make a difference to your business and help you get where you need to be. Number 3, Q4 deal analysis. I've talked about this already and I'll drop a link up there. Quite simply, we are in the midst of Q4. It's just starting right now. And don't expect anything to happen straight away. It doesn't really change. Mid-November is when it starts picking up. I'd probably say it could be a bit earlier or could be later. COVID's something can have an impact, potentially going back into lockdown, we shall see. So I've probably still got another month now where I can really define what are those key ASINs, those key lines that not only do I want to buy by looking through the keeper charts and what happens in December. Again, have a look at that video that I just dropped up there, but then also what's the buy price? And I want to make sure that I've got that nailed down. My team know it and we are checking it when we need it, and we can make sure we start buying big when we want them. So that is quite simply number 3. I'm going to be really focusing on my Q4 stock purchases. And I'll be doing that with my team and my purchasing manager to make sure that we can buy big when we need to. So really good. Now, quick question for you is one thing that I've just been realizing when we're doing the deal analysis for the USA market, and FastTrackFBA does USA leads as well as UK leads, is that, my God, USA leads are like massively more profitable, much better ROI, and obviously sales a month are insane. So much so that I'm thinking like, why the hell didn't I start selling America? So what I'm thinking is potentially Q1 next year, I might take, let's say 10K, go put it into US dollars and just hire a purchasing manager or train one up and document that process. See how much I can do in a year with just 10K starting. If you want me to do that, drop it down in the comments below. Obviously, I'll take your feedback. And hey, if you're doing it already, let me know as well. Maybe I'll watch your YouTube channel and see what you're doing. Number 4, I am looking at getting credit cards, getting cash available. I want to be able to have the funds in place, ready to spend big. Are there any more credit cards that I can get? Can I maybe go to the bank? My financial year ends finished within my business. It's a new financial year now. So can we go get extra loans? I think Capital on Tap, I don't use them at the moment. I'm really interested in looking at them. I'm just going to put it out there. I think I could probably get my hands on, I don't know how much, I don't know, quite a bit of money. So if I can do that, and if I can have it available, ready to spend, and I know it's there and I know how to access it, then my Q4 can be big, like really, really big. My plans are to probably do something like 70K in Q4. That's what we've got planned as part of the million budget. But right now, there's no reason why we couldn't do 100K at the rate we're purchasing. And I think to say that maybe even 150K in a month could be doable. That's massive. That's like half a year's worth of revenue for me in 1 month. And And that shows you the size of Q4. Number 4, getting my cash available. Credit cards, loans, banks, capital on tap is a good option that I'm going to look into. Call out your bank. I use Santander, 123, not 123. They do cashback credit cards as a credit card, but also they do overdraft facilities, which are 5.5%. So really, really good. So really recommend that, and just get yourself ready for those Q4 spending the money. You've got the money in your pocket. Right, that is what I'm going to be doing over the next month, October. Now, Q4 is not going to go boom, bang, it's Q4, everything's on sale. No, not at all. It is quite simply going to business as normal, pretty much, or COVID depending. But what will happen is that come November, you're then going to start seeing sales pick up. Now, the interesting thing is that you've probably got to be making those big purchases middle of October, late October at the latest, to have the stock in prep, shipped into Amazon and on sale, ready to start picking up that mid-November pickup. So really start planning that, like your spending's got to go up middle of this month, October, ready to have everything in place, ready for the next month. Right now, if you want to know, my stock from buy to sell is 56 days. I track that number religiously. That means I buy a product on average, it sells within 56 days. That is an important metric to know. I also know the one, how long it takes on average for we buy and it arrives in Amazon. So Q4 is going to be good. I am #excited about this. But hey, you guys stay safe, and I look forward to hearing some success stories over the coming month. Take care.